Okay, so it's 10:02, so let's go through the last set of slides. Oh, I gotta share my screen, right? Yeah, share. Okay, so I should be fairly brief, I think. So in the wrap up, I just want to give you some ideas of places, at least I look for help in using R and some good resources. So the first place to start when you get stuck in R is usually to look at the help file. So a lot of the help files, they have a lot of documentation. It can be a little bit tricky to get through, but usually running the examples in the help file, like right at the bottom, the example code can usually give you a good idea of how the functions work. A lot of the stuff that we covered today is covered in the R for Data Science book by Carrot Gorlin and Hadley Wickham. So there's a link there in the slides. I think it's open up. So this book is all online. It's free and it's open. So you can see they cover a lot of things like factors we covered, right, and tidy data. So you can sort of see how these are the people who wrote the functions, right? So you can sort of see how they are using them. And their book, I'd say this book is really good. The language is pretty simple. On occasion, they do get like stuck up on the details, especially in the questions. So they get very sort of a bit more technical in the questions. But overall, like it's a very good book for explaining R pretty simple language. You can order print copies as well on any sort of bookstore, I'm sure. Yeah, when sort of these resources fail, then I would recommend like just searching online. Usually a Google search, you can usually find quite quickly what's going on. Especially if you get an error message, then it's always a good idea just to Google that error message, to copy and paste from R into Google and or whatever search engine, and then find out if anybody else has had the same problem. Usually, it's the case that someone else has already run into the problem. Like I said, there's lots of R users, and most sort of not doing it independently, right? So you can usually find a solution by searching online. A few like selected places on the internet to look. So I think it used to be the main source was this R help mailing list, which was hosted here. So this has a really long history of discussion on different R topics and different problems. It's just like a kind of a forum in a way. I would say like sometimes you get linked there from Google, and I would say I've probably only posted there a few times, and each time it's not been I mean, this was years ago, but it was not a great experience. Like sometimes the people who reply sort of not being super nice with their replies. So I will give you some other forums later on where I post. But this previous one is usually linked to quite a lot in Google. Another good place to sort of explore are the task views. So the R task view, if you click on the title of the slide here, we'll give you the link. These are sort of written for different areas of statistics. So if you're interested in official statistics, for example, then what it does, this maintainer here, he has tried to create a list of all the packages that might be relevant if you're working in official statistics, for example. And he's sort of sectioned them up by different areas of official statistics. So, for example, microdata, we've got some here. Someone was asking about that before, and imputation and so on. You can see for different areas of statistics or even applications, there's these different task views. So it's a good way of like getting a lay of the land of the different R packages, especially now there's so many R packages. Okay, so this is just going a bit more detail about this is the task view for categorical and count data. So these are quite regularly updated, and usually a good source to start finding a relevant package to the packages to the type of analysis you want. GitHub is also an important place for R. A lot of people who develop R packages keep the code online in GitHub, which allows them to sort of keep a good version control of the packages, and also you can get like the very latest versions of the packages from GitHub that perhaps are not already on the R network, the CRAN network. So CRAN can be a very useful place to go. And especially if you're having trouble, you're getting error messages, is to look in the issues section of a particular GitHub, right? So this one is for the read Excel package. And you can see there's 33 issues that are open where people have asked questions and or suggested improvements to the package. And then there's about 338 closed issues. So maybe you could find a problem in a solve solution in the closed packages. Yeah, so you can search through the issues just by typing in the search bar here, and then whether the issue is closed or not. So here I searched for column name. Perhaps you are having trouble with column names in Read Excel. So one of the sort of most friendliest places I would say for so getting answers and discussing R is the RStudio community discussion board. So usually it's a few people who work for RStudio are helping answer queries on this discussion board. So you're likely to get good quality replies from people who really know a lot about R. The other place that I like to find solutions and even post questions is Stack Overflow. So Stack Overflow is a little more wild, I would say, than the RStudio discussion board, but it's usually quite reliable. Like when you get answers from there, usually you are getting good quality answers. Sometimes you might get some rude people, or you might just get no answers at all. So here are a couple of links to like how to ask a good question on Stack Overflow, how to make a good R example. So sort of always when you post a question there, it's good to sort of I would say give your code and give at least a little illustration of the problem that you're having. If you can't give the data frame, then make a mini data frame to sort of show the question happening. So this link here is for Stack Overflow is a massive website that covers many different programming languages and even beyond that. And if you want to get to the R questions, then in the top of Stack Overflow, you can use the square brackets, and then all the questions to do with R are tagged with an R tag. So this means in square brackets, they're tagged with R. And then you can search within the R tag, right? So say I want to look at, let's say, I'm going to do this later, population pyramid. It's going to search for all the R questions on population pyramids. So these are all questions about R. So it's 56 results here, right? So then you might be able to find the question that you're looking for. You can put your error message in here as well. Another good way to find the results. So yeah, this is just a screenshot again of the R tag questions. And then here I just search pyramid, so similar to the previous search. And here's a question, right? Just to give you an example, let's click on this one. It's a good one. So here, this person is just saying, I want to use ggplot to create a population pyramid. Here's some code. So they just create a data frame, and here's my ggplot code, and this is how far I've got. And can anyone help make it better? So then there's an answer here where he's sort of using the same data, and then he's saying, you could create a better looking population pyramid like this using this code. And then down here, there's another answer. And you can see these answers are rated by how many votes they get. So this one's got 34, and this one's got 58. And this right here is a green tick. This means the person who asked the question has decided this is the best answer. So in the eyes of the person who asked the question, they like that answer best. Okay, some other good places to sort of monitor R or keep up to date with R is R bloggers. So this has a lot of posts over what they've got to 700. I think that number's even bigger now. These are people writing blog posts about R, and then R bloggers is collecting all those blog posts together and putting them in one place. And you can sign up for an email to get these daily alerts or weekly alerts to get the updates there to follow R bloggers. I find like R bloggers is too much, right? So R weekly is quite a good place to sort of sign up. These sort of summarize and give you links to different blog posts rather than giving you each individual blog post. So you can kind of get a condensed version of different new features in R, new packages, or different things that people are doing in R. More sort of formal ways to keep up with R is the R journal. So this is sort of usually if there's a paper in the R journal, it's usually sort of demonstrating a new package, and usually written by the person who wrote the package. and the reviewing process is quite tough. I went through it for a few of my packages. So usually packages that have a R journal article usually pretty good packages. At least they've been sort of tested and kind of durable, that they could work on different data sets. So there's also the journal statistical software, which is even tougher than the R journal. I'd say this is probably one of the most prestigious journals for software in general. It's run by the Journal of American Statistical Association. And so they have, I think it's quarterly, they publish articles on different, not only R packages, also like MATLAB and even SAS and so on. Different software, and usually they're sort of cutting edge to do with like latest statistical methods. Okay, so then some final tips. Let's say like you find when you're started, if you haven't written code before, then you do end up copying and pasting code. And I think at the start, maybe you can think that's a bit cheating, and you should be typing everything out from as you go. But I would say it's usually not a bad approach to sort of getting results out with R quickly. So it's usually not a bad place to start, is to sort of have a search and find someone who's done a similar analysis, and then adapt the code or take it from the example of the help file. But it can be dangerous, right? You need to make sure that you fully understand the code that you are using, and that you understand what you're outputting completely. So in that case, it's always useful to make sure, check that what you're getting is lining up with what you believe by looking at the help files of the functions that you are using. So yeah, just this last point, right? It can allow you to sort of you might often have to tweak the code that you copy and paste, and you need to sort of avoid sort of using unsuitable settings or defaults in the functions that might give you the wrong answer when you copy and paste. Okay, and then these are just my email and my Twitter that I don't really use, but it's there anyway if you want to follow me a bit. And I think that's the end then of the course. So maybe I hand over to the organizers for the final say. I just stop sharing screen.